Wealth, I think, is the ability to meet the needs of others without wondering, can you afford it?
Ooh.
I always tell people like that, you can't build a business bigger than you build yourself, right? Because every part of business sits on you and who you are. It's some people that are passionate enough to do it for free, and there's some people that's only good enough to do it for free, right? Don't cheat people.
Yeah.
Know where you are, be honest with where you are in the process. Okay, I get that. But when people say they're just starting, if I learn how to make the best chocolate chip cookies and I can follow the recipe, it don't matter how many chocolate chip cookies I sold. Right. Can I teach you how to make them? So I charge based on can I get you the result, not on how much I made in my business. The only way I'm wrong is if I'm marketing how much money I made in my business, which is what I call captivity. That's cap activity. Right,
captivity.
You out there lying.
Yeah.
People hire you not because you're an expert.
Yeah.
It's because, let's say, if they're on step 0, haven't started.
Yeah.
You're on step 3.
Yeah.
They are paying you because you are on the same direction they're going, but steps ahead of them.
Yeah.
All you got to teach them is how to go from 0 to 3.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of followers without a business strategy is like a barbecue with no food.
Ooh.
You gather people around, but everybody leave hungry. Right?
Yeah.
If every time you hear me online, I'm solving your problem, I'm answering your questions, you don't care how many followers I have.
Yeah.
And that's how people with less than 1,000 followers can grow.
Man, I love that. Man, I love that. Hey, wait. I know you want to watch this next video, but listen, if you are an entrepreneur, business coach, business consultant, or a small business owner who has a story and wants to learn how to create multiple streams of income from your story, I need you to text me right now, my book, to 646-687-4152. That is my personal number. I have been an author for over 12 years. I've written 10 books. 4 of them have been bestsellers, and I've sold over 100,000 books. But I've also helped a lot of my clients take their expertise and put it into a story, then create multiple streams of income from that. So I want to help you do the same thing. So text my book to 646-687-4152. All right, let's go back to the video.
Pay attention and listen, we about to teach class. Inside the vault, my man Ash Cash. So get your man right. Thursday nights, 8 p.m. you see him, change your life. Millionaire mindset, the best on earth. Blueprint, the wealth, the knowledge network. To get it while you can, and he's standing right here. Just come inside the vault and see black millionaires. Oh yeah. Come inside the vault and see black millionaires. Oh yeah. You won't ask cash, you can catch it right here in the vault.
All right, so welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Vault with Ash Cash, the greatest money mindset show on the planet. I'm excited about this interview because when you think about the pandemic, when you think about, brick and mortar and people closing down and the boom in e-commerce and online businesses, it's really a fact that if you don't have an online presence, if you don't have an online business, then what are you really doing? But the problem is a lot of people are just starting out. It's so confusing. They don't know where to start. And so what are the systems do you use? How do you do it? What is a funnel, right? And so we have my guy, my Haitian brother. No, he's not Haitian, but his name's not Haitian. Marcus Rosier, in the building. What's up, my guy? How are you?
Brother, it's an honor to be here with you,
thank you, brother. Thank you. So, full disclosure, my guy Marcus was one of the first interviews that we did on Inside the Vault. And so, fat shout to our brother Alex, Good Energy, because after Alex got on the show, he literally changed the trajectory of, how the show was gonna go. And so while we're in the editing process, we're watching your show and we're like, nah, like I know your story.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, we ain't gonna do my guy justice. So we had to get you back in the building because number one, I wanna make sure that the people that we bring in here, kind of leaves a lasting imprint on our audience, and now the audience is used to a certain flow, and so I'm glad that you put time on your busy schedule because you're a busy guy. You busy traveling, you busy making money, you busy going out the country, and so you made time. But for those who don't know who you are, who is Marcus Rosier?
Man, listen. Well, before I say anything, shouts out to you, man. I've watched from that first week to where it is now. You've continued to add value in the fact that it was about what can you give to the audience. So when you ask who I am, I always tell people, man, I fail if people walk away from my presence and see me instead of seeing themselves. So in short, I try to always be a mirror of words. You know, I think most people don't really see themselves.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's my calling to say something, whether it's through business, whether it's through mindset, whether it's money mindset, personal development, that helps people see themselves.
Yeah.
But backstory, think, man, I'm just a guy who, before I even could spell entrepreneurship, I feel like I've always been in entrepreneurship. You know, for as far back as I remember, I don't know how it was from up north, but I'm from the South, Panama City, Lynn Haven, Florida. There was always a julep lady or frozen cup. So just something about watching somebody have people take 50 cents, ask their mother for $1 and pay for something like, it's Kool-Aid. That's frozen. We do this at the house. It's just started something in me at a young age. Both of my parents are pastors. So I remember taking a little $10 allowance, going to Sam's Club with my mother and buying the little noodle cups, buying candy, and just the idea of taking $10, making almost $100. I didn't know what it was, but I just knew whatever that is I like. That I can take money, provide a need, and the little church kids there at a conference all night, and the pastor and all them got food, but the kids waiting. And that started my journey. And I sold gold caps, mixed CDs, do-rags, linen outfits. Not real cologne, that inspired by.
Inspired by. I know about that inspired by.
Right, inspired by. So it's like, before I knew what entrepreneurship was, I was functioning in it. So my backstory is really that, man. Very early in life, I figured it out. But a sad part is I graduated high school at 15 years old. I hated school, but I had a great memory. And I realized everything except math is memorization. So graduated very early, went off to college. My mother wanted me to have my bachelor's by 18, 19, master's, doctorate, etc. Dropped out of school because I was playing ball, tore my ACL. Right, if you ain't playing ball, what I'm here for. And bought my first house by 19, man. Business was good because I've always been able to make money. Whether it was club promotion, whether I was always finding something, buying it and selling it. And saw my first 6 figures before I even turned 21. And where I'm from, if you can pay for 2 people chicken milk plate at Waffle House, you was balling.
Right.
You're like smothered, covered, diced, and chalked on me. But you know, I did well early on in life. Took everything, kind of bet big on real estate. Didn't know what I was doing, but was around it. And lost everything. This was recession. I didn't know how to read any of those things. Like, I know how to read, but I didn't know like what I was getting into. When you invest in someone else's deal of a condominium building, all I know is that those 5 units are going to be mine. This before Airbnb. The bank pulled his funding. He filed bankruptcy. Of course, everybody who invested in the deal lost everything. So I literally just like that went from having over 6 figures to $11.37. I'll never forget at Regions Bank. And I realized it was the greatest thing that ever happened to me because I was never successful. I just had money. And it taught me a major lesson.
You were never successful. You just had money. Ooh, that's a bar.
They're not the same. I didn't know who I was. I was generous, but not really. I liked the attention that generosity got me. It wasn't connected to purpose.
You ain't cutting the play. You came with some bars. Okay, go ahead.
Just think about the idea of people say that they don't like being used, or they feel like, man, I don't want everybody to want me for my money, but I was insecure. So imagine you going with Coogee outfits, which I didn't like at the time, just for somebody to say, boy, look at you in that Coogee. Like, this old thing. Well, really, that's why you bought it. You bought a $100 ugly shirt so someone could acknowledge it. You're taking people out to eat so you can feel a sense of belonging. So that's when I realized that success wasn't tied to purpose. It wasn't tied to legacy. It wasn't even tied to my gift. I just figured out how to make money, and I was great with relationships. It wasn't until years later that I figured out my true gift was communication. And when I can channel that in a way that serves people, that's success. You know, when I clearly identify that. So that, in a nutshell, that's my story, man. Went from that to nothing at all. Went on a journey to find my purpose. This was 2010, around that time. And made a commitment to, I'm a church guy, man, so I grew up hearing about tithe and 10% and all of that, but I didn't have money. So I made a commitment to God. I'll never forget, mad, crying. Where I'm from, they call me Money Mark, but Money Mark ain't have no money. Right? So I'm mad, like, how you let your boy go broke? I was gifted at an early age, did well in life, and I heard clearly, man, as clear as day, it was that epiphany moment, crying in the car, didn't know how I was going to feed myself, going over 2 years eating ramen noodles, Jenny O turkey burgers, bread on a George Foreman grill.
Wow.
2 years straight. That's all I had. Wow. And from that to figuring out my purpose and making a commitment that every day that I would give my gift the type of my time. 10% of the day that I would learn reading, developing. I would take note cards, bro, and mute the TV and act like I was being interviewed.
Yeah.
I would write on cards words and I would try to speak for minutes on down, and I would remove all redundancies, ums, uhs, pauses, to learn how to be better at speaking once I figured out that was the gift. And man, that was October 10th, 2010. From that day to this one, man, I've never missed a day of what I call winning the day.
Wow, that's powerful. And when you started to transition to now, having those days where you didn't, you lost it all. You don't know how you're gonna eat and all that. What did success, look like? Like what was the next step that just said, all right, now, man, I'm at that success level.
Man, I had such low expectations at the time because you can struggle so much that anything more than what you had at the time seemed like a lot.
Yeah.
So success at the time was, imagine going 2 years and never being able to pay all your bills at one time.
Yeah.
So it was either the light bill was late or the car note was late. So throughout that time period, to me, success was just being able to have enough to take care of myself, to not have to worry about anything. That's what I really think wealth is. Wealth, I think, is the ability to meet the needs of others without wondering, can you afford it?
Ooh.
So if like somebody got something going on, if I'm in line and your car's declined, I want to do it.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do it without thinking about, can I afford it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That to me was the only freedom I wanted. Just the ability to help people without being selfish and having to focus on myself. So in that hole was reading. I was reading a book a week at the time, trying to educate myself, really learning my own voice, and then trying to figure out, now that you got skill development, but business development is a whole nother skill set. So I developed this tremendous skill of speaking, but I still wasn't making no money like that.
Right.
So I had to figure out, that's when I got into book writing. 2015, 5 years later, wrote Win the Day, which was my first book. I self-published 4 books in that first year. Yeah. Things took off, traveled over 30 countries speaking, went on to write 23 books.
Nice.
Like crazy, man, just dumping ideas. So I would say what I was really thinking during those low moments, I would have moments of vision. I just knew without a shadow of a doubt, if I could figure this out, I used to always think about how I would help somebody else. And that's the only thing that kept me going.
Yeah. And in that, I know you say your parents were in the church, and is that where that level of, reaping and sowing comes from? Like where was that mindset that told you, because it's a biblical principle, it's a Quranic principle, it's a universal law. The more you give, the more you get back. Life is a mirror. And if I'm understanding correctly, it was, early on, you had money, but you didn't have success because that money, that success was predicated not on service, that, it was predicated on, attention, right? Yeah. And then the moment you started to switch, now, how can I help? How can I sow seed? How can I sow seed? And then now as you started sowing seed, you now are able to reap. Is that, from your background, or like where did that mindset shift start?
Man, I'll say it's twofold. What I say now, like the older me, I always tell people like that, you can't build a business bigger than you build yourself. Right? Because every part of business sits on you and who you are. So when we talk about whether you make $1 million or whether you make $3 million, is never enough to pay for lack of confidence. And that's going to contribute to sales, marketing, operations, running a team. So at the time, I realized I had to develop me. So back to what you were saying, I wish I could say I was intentional about it. I just realized very early on it was a faith principle that was embedded in me. My mother was always big on anything you had, like if I wanted new toys, not until you go find something to give away. So she always instilled into me that principle. The older I get, I start realizing, man, on any level, even if you take it out of a faith setting, if you take it out of Quran, any book, I mean, if you think about nature, bro, in order the sky got to give up rain, the ground got to give up dew. Everything that's selfish dies. Right? There's nothing that lives that holds on to more than what it gives out. So the most basic principle of biology is give to what gives to you. So that's how money flows.
Yeah.
Give to what gives to you. And I started learning that, man, at a very early age. Like, how does money really work?
Yeah.
You know, it's this idea that I always talk to people about when it comes to money, that people feel like wanting money will make you more money. I don't think so. I think that how your communication with it.
Yeah.
You know, some people will tell money, go get me shoes, and it'll get it.
Right.
Go get me a car, it'll get it.
Yeah.
People that truly understand wealth tells money, go get me more money.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And
Yeah.
then invest that into something that helps people, and then it'll attract it towards you.
Right.
You know, so that's always been the principle, and it still is for me now. I never want to take more than I give.
No, I love that. I love that.
Hey, how you guys doing? Hold on, don't press that button, because that's what I do every time I'm looking at an ad that I don't want to see. This ad just happened to be life-changing. I just happen to own one of the biggest home healthcare companies in the state of Georgia. I can help you create your own. Just to give you a little bit of insight, I send out registered nurses, LPNs, and CNAs to take care of people inside of the homes that cannot take care of themselves. But guess what? You don't have to have any medical background, and you don't have to have any medical knowledge. So if you're wanting to change your life and you have a passion for actually taking care of people, then go ahead and sign up for Home Healthcare Blueprint. I'll see you guys later.
And that's actually, you know, it's funny because there's a book, The Science of Getting Rich, that I've read maybe 100 times, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the main principles is like, make sure that you're giving more than you give. So even, you know, when you start providing products and services, just make sure you're giving back in use value more than you get in cash value. And if you keep doing that over and over, you are going to have the abundance that is your birthright, right? And so, you know, fast forward 2021, you're running the mob.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Rico Law, no, it's fine. You're running the mob, right? Monetization, what was it?
Monetize Online Business Blueprint.
Right. And so one of the things that I love about what you do is because there are a lot of people who put a lot of emphasis on followers, right? And we had an interview. I mean, if you Google it, there were, you know, people who said, listen, like, you know, I know, there were people that said, look, somebody had 2 million followers and had no money.
Wow.
Right. We interviewed somebody here inside the vault who talked about, you know, a friend that had 1 million followers, but reached out to him to get $1,000. Right. Yeah. And there's so much emphasis on how many followers you have and things of that nature, to the point that people who don't understand how to run an online business believe that there's a direct correlation between the amount of followers and the amount of money. But what you do is really show people that it really doesn't matter how many followers you have. It's really about how many quality people who can benefit from your products and services. Talk about the mob for me real quick.
Man, so I'll say how it started so people really understand it. When I first started, my first time seeing six figures in a month, I had less than 10,000 followers. When I got into coaching, I wrote all I ever did was take what I did and teach people how to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it as coaching. It wasn't no path like that. I wasn't thinking ebook. This is back freeconferencecall.com. Periscope.
Right.
There was no Facebook Live, no Instagram Live.
Yeah.
I wrote books. Everybody asked me how I wrote them. Yeah. So it went from a $20 book into teaching people how to write a book in 30 days.
Yeah, yeah.
It went from that to people, it was called Your 30-Day Book, how to publish it, on down the line. It went from that into, well, what happens next? How to turn your book into a business, and that was called Entrepreneur Academy. Because my first book was called Win the Day, my company is called Win the Day Consulting Group. Right? So I went from that to, everybody was asking me, how do you speak? Author Speaker Academy. All I did was took what I was doing and build it. But I understood very early on, charging $97, 38 people signed up for that first program. Laptop was up. I was only working 4 hours. It was every Monday from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. I made a little under $3,700. Month 2, sold for $297. Made a little less than $4,000 again. I was like, what if I ran both? Monday, Your 30-Day Book. Tuesday, Entrepreneur Academy. Did that and saw my first 5-figure month. By the third month, ran all three. Your 30-Day Book, Entrepreneur Academy, and Author Speaker Academy. And from that day on, I realized, like, hold on, I'm working 3 hours a week.
Right.
I got my cell phone up on free conference call and my laptop.
Yeah.
And this is 3 hours a week, 12 hours a month, 5 figures.
Yep.
I could never work again. I'm ruined.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the money. It was, I was helping so many people learn how to write books. So that's when I never really took serious the whole social media piece. It was difficult for me to stay in that world. So what I learned later, when this whole boom of Instagram and the lives and all that, is it a phenomenal thing? Yes. Most people focus on content development, not business development. So you got people who are great with content development and they feed their ego of immediate likes and comments, but there's no structure. Well, I tell people, a lot of followers without a business strategy is like a barbecue with no food.
Ooh.
You gather people around, but everybody leave hungry.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not until you can take your idea,
Yeah.
package it, market it, automate it, sell it. So here's the 4 steps I teach. I teach the first step is to fire your boss. It's to make so much money in your business that you lose money by going to work.
Oh.
So now you have to fire your boss.
Yeah.
The second step is to hire your systems, where now you have systems going on that you can automate yourself and duplicate the process. The third is to hire a team. And then the fourth is to fire yourself and let steps 2 and 3 run the business. If a person don't know how to do all of that, that's why you have people saying, I'm gonna just put out an ebook.
Right.
So the core values that I teach and the mob, we don't even start with, and I'm gonna give away my method.
Yeah.
We don't start with this whole idea of an ebook,
Yeah.
because I'm targeting people with less than 10,000 followers.
Right.
You got less than 10,000 followers, a $27, $37, $47 product, there's not enough people for you to do step 1, fire your boss.
Yeah.
You would need a course that does 2 things. It solves the biggest problem for the client and makes you the most money simultaneously so you can serve them more.
Yeah.
Undercharging cheats the client, because now as soon as you pay me, I got to find somebody else to pay me. If I charge enough, I can give you my undivided attention and I can give you everything, and I feel like I got to upcharge you.
Wait. Let's slow down real quick, right? Because I think that I don't want nobody to miss that. Undercharging is cheating the client.
Yeah.
Because if you don't pay me enough, I can't give you my full attention.
No.
Now after you pay me, I have to find another client. And then now I'm not giving you what you actually paid me for. So if I charge you enough, all right, keep going.
Because imagine how many people you know that sell someone something with the intent of upselling them something else.
Right.
If you knew that wouldn't solve my problem, why'd you sell it to me? So our rule number 1 is this is where marketing comes in.
Yeah.
We don't sell time, we don't sell services, we don't sell products, we sell solutions to problems. What is selling time? Sign up for my 30-minute, my 2-day, my 3-day, my 6-week, my 8-week. That's selling time. I don't care how long it take me. Can I get a result?
Yeah.
We don't sell, buy my ebook. No one's interested in your ebook. What is the result your ebook gets me?
Yeah.
Sign up for weekly training with me. What is the result of weekly training?
Yeah.
So like at its core, you asked me a major question. What is the Monetized Online Business Blueprint? I sat still, shout out to Nehemiah Davis.
That's how it go.
He invited all of us to Bali, Thailand. We were just out there, 25 entrepreneurs. I stopped coaching for 2 years because I felt like it lacked responsibility. Everybody was selling people everything except what they do to make money. So I stopped coaching because I felt like, man, how do I take people and really get them a result? So I sat still and said, what do I really do? What had built my business without a large follow account is funnels. It was really understanding how to map out a business, how to automate it. So I said, okay, well, shoot, what's the thing I help people do? Monetize online. What is that? Okay, monetize online, they need an online business. Okay, what does anyone need to want to build something? A blueprint. I sat still for 6 months and took everything we did as a business and put it into a process. How do we find clients? What's our messaging? How do we create courses? How do we follow up with clients? Like just anything you can think of, from sales strategy, our 8-step process of emails, and I took everything in our brain, all of our standard operating procedures, and said, I'm gonna give my business away in 3 ways. Do it yourself, where they get my intellectual property, but they don't get my time. It's in a portal.
Yeah.
Done with you, where they work with us in a 6-week span, and I share my screen, my actual system. They see my real numbers.
Yep.
And I show them how to build the same funnel they came to me and paid me for. I show them how to build it.
Nice. Yeah.
I know it worked because it worked on you.
Absolutely. Right. Exactly.
And then I done for you, where we literally take a person from, we say, come with an idea, leave with a business. It's course creation, email automation, business development, marketing, funnels. We write all the emails, it's 25 plus emails, so it's everything all the way including sales strategy, man. That's really what it is.
Man, I love that because, when it takes out the mystery that people have of starting an online business, because you need to have an online business. You need to have a system in play. But at the same time, you're able to do things for people. And I think, that's what intrigues me the most, because it's like, yo, I'm gonna give you a business in a box, right?
Yeah.
And so how has that changed the lives of some of your clients, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that, it's a situation where, somebody who right now who's watching might have 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
And they might say, well, it sounds good that you're giving me this, but how is this gonna change my life? I only got 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
And I don't see how, I'm gonna be able to, make some money with only 1,000 followers. So talk a little bit about some of your, your success stories.
First thing I'll say is people look at their follower count wrong. If 1,000 people showed up to anything you had, you'd think it was successful. So if 1,000 people say, I'm interested in you to follow you, why is it not a lot when you think of social media? It's a free platform.
Yeah.
So imagine if you opened up a business and someone like me showed up and invited 1,000 people to sell my product in your business. That's what we do to Instagram.
Yeah, yeah.
We show up on Instagram's free platform to get people to leave that platform to come shop with us. Yeah. So I think it's first looking at that. If you were selling a $1,000 course, you had 1,000 people, and you got 10 people every month to say yes, that's 10 grand a month.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
See how when you change the psychology and you immediately start doing what I did, my goal when I started was to make one person a day love me. Every one person represents 5 people they'll share if you benefit their life. So what we teach right off rip is a concept I call PSP. It's an online business model. And this is what I think anyone should follow, because it could grow with you from no money all the way to $1 billion company. First P is product. That could be a digital product. That could be where if you were to package all of your interviews into one portal, that's a digital product. Yeah. You don't have to work. They pay for it to get access. Much like Netflix is $1 billion sales page.
Absolutely, yeah.
You go from product, which is normally your lowest. That's when you're seeing your $7, $17, $27, and $97. Then you go into that S, which is your service. Now, this is where somebody can reach out to you for you to teach them how to do a podcast. That's a service. You can also add another S in there, which is a subscription. This is what I call the entrepreneur paycheck, where now someone who took your course could pay you on a monthly subscription to have access to you weekly, monthly, bi-weekly to ask questions. Where now you're supporting them with Q&As, live mentorship. That last P could be program/course. Now here's how it all maps out. If you start with program and course, and your goal is to build it all out, you can go from start to finish and say, let's say you're $1 billion company. You sit down quarterly and say, hey, from Black Friday to January, I don't work with anybody with my services. You hire Bob, who's over digital products. You hire Sarah, who's over services. You hire Ken, who's over subscriptions. And you hire Bobby, who's over programs. All they're doing is determining what marketing channel do you drive traffic to which product. That company structure grows with you. So what we tell people first is create the course, $1,000 or more. Yeah. Now from your course, snatch a piece of that, much like if you went to the mall, you was on your way to Chick-fil-A and teriyaki chicken, what? You take a piece of what you sell in your course and make that a digital product. You take what you teach in your course and give them access to a service base at a high premium. And now anyone who took your course, give them access to ask you questions. That's your subscription. Create one thing, diversify, and now you can grow your company. So when we're talking high level running it, your digital product money pays for ads to get people to buy your high ticket course. Your subscription money is ongoing. You can live off that. Yeah. If you got a $100 mentorship, $100 a month, and you get 100 people in it, you can live off that. You live for free. Yeah. That's your money. Right. That's my structure, PSP.
Yeah, and I love that. Clients. I love that. And then so, now you have this structure, could somebody that has 1,000 followers get to a 6-figure month? Is that possible?
100. I 100% believe it. I 100% believe it. First and foremost is pricing. Yeah. Like when you talk about, let's use proper pricing. High ticket changed my life. I gotta be honest. I was that $97 boy, and I was giving you everything, bro. I told you, your 30-day book, I gave them the script that I used to pitch to schools for speaking engagements and what I used to get on radio, TV, ABC, NBC, Fox, plus publishing process for $97.
Yeah.
When your person prices properly, it becomes almost impossible not to make $100,000. So I'll explain it. Let's say if you stick with rule one, you don't sell products, you sell a solution to a problem. The question you got to ask is, how much is it worth to a person if they're going to pay you once but they can get paid forever? If you're teaching me how to write a book, you can charge me anything you want, honestly, because you've shown success, you wrote multiple books, you're a bestseller. I'm going to pay you one time, but I have a skill that I can now give to my kids, I can teach to somebody else. So pricing becomes first. And the way that a person reaches that level of 6 figures, can I slide something in real quick?
Yeah, please.
The myth of 5 figures and 6 figures, most people when they hear it think from the bottom. So when they think 5 figures, they think $10,000. When they think 6 figures, they think 100,000. That's the lowest number on 5 and 6 figures.
Right.
So you first got to blow the ceiling off of that.
Whoa. Yeah.
And say any number from 100,000 to $1 shy of $1 million is 6 figures.
It's 6 figures, right?
Now, where do I want to land?
Ooh, that's a big one.
Where do I want to land? Where do I want to land?
Yeah.
Now, how does a person get there?
Yeah.
Here's the steps that I tell them. If you're not making money online, this don't have nothing to do with follower count.
Right.
If every time you hear me online, I'm solving your problem, I'm answering your questions, you don't care how many followers I have.
Yeah.
So I'm an acronym systems guy.
Yeah.
I teach something called your mom. If you're not making money online, your mom's the problem. It is going to be your messaging. It's not what you sell, but how you describe it. So this is why can I give this example?
Please.
So let's say you're riding down 285. You don't know where you are, and you starving. You're like, bro, the next place I find, I'm pulling off to eat.
Yeah.
You're the dream client for any restaurant. So any restaurant that's positioned in proximity to the exit, you're their dream client. So let's say you and your wife driving, and y'all say the next place we go, we're eating. To the left, you see food next exit. You're like, I don't know what they have, but let's go eat. Right before you pull off, you see soul food, seafood, even vegan options. Which one would you go to?
I mean, I'm hungry, so I'm stopping and I'm going to most likely seafood.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's my point in that. I said soul food, seafood, even vegan options. People hear whatever they got a taste for.
Oh.
Now, the one on the left might have had what you wanted, but they didn't describe it. That's messaging.
Ooh.
When people are online, most people are selling food next exit. They're not selling soul food, seafood, even vegan options where a person can hear their problem listed in your messaging.
Wow. Yeah.
So they say, buy my ebook. I don't hear my problem in that. Sign up for my 2-day boot camp. I hear the name of your program. I don't market the mob. What I market is how coaches and entrepreneurs can make money online selling digital products, courses, and programs with less than 10,000 followers.
Oh.
I market a result.
Yeah.
Right? So messaging is normally how a person describes and positions themselves. I teach you don't name yourself in your messaging as an industry. You're not a coach, you're not a consultant, you're not an author. What is the result you give someone as an author becomes who you are. So I'm not a coach or a consultant. I help coaches and entrepreneurs make money online selling digital products, courses, and programs.
Yeah.
I'm not an industry.
Right.
Because however you see that industry, you're going to see me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as messaging, we go straight from that into what is the offer? That's the O of your mom. What specifically are you selling and what's the price to value contrast?
Yeah.
92% of people that visit a website aren't ready to buy. That means if your offer's wrong, you're only marketing to 8%.
Wow. Yeah.
That's a lot of money to leave on the table.
Right.
So that offer has to be in position that shows someone clearly that price value contrast piece of what is the price in reference to the value.
Yeah.
And then that last part is the marketing. Not what are you selling, but how are you selling it?
Yeah.
And that's the focal point. So anyone, no matter how many followers you have, I teach interview yourself. Where was Ash Cash when he wrote his very first book?
Yeah.
What was your thought? What was your fears? What was your uncertainties? What was the roadblocks? How did you resourcefully come up with money? What did you do when the first person bought?
Yeah.
All of those questions is content. So whenever somebody find you, they hear and see you as themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care how many followers you have. Every time I hear you, you speaking to what I'm going through.
Right.
And that's how people with less than 1,000 followers can grow.
Man, I love that. Man, I love that. I mean, it's so much to unpack. I'm not even gonna unpack it. I'm gonna tell y'all, I need y'all to go back because, like you literally just gave us a class here. I think that anybody who's having issues monetizing online, watch this interview, but you gotta tap in, right? You gotta tap in because you literally just solved many people's problems because it's true, right? People are always sort of marketing their industry and I'm a coach and I'm this and I'm that, but not marketing the solution that they provide because, and I love that analogy because it's true, right? Because literally there might be something across the street that might, have exactly what I'm looking to eat, but, in my mind, I'm hungry. This shop says they got, soul food, seafood, and vegan options. And I'm like, you know what? I know I'm hungry. I would have took the soul food. I would have took the vegan. I know I want some seafood, so let me go there. The store across the street might have exactly what I was looking for, but the messaging wasn't there, right? And so I love that. And so also, how much does advertising play a part, right? Because I think that one of the biggest things, and you mentioned this earlier, was the ability to have the different, revenues that you're making from the businesses sort of pay for, your client attraction and the things that are coming back in. And so, how, much does advertising, play in that process of monetizing online?
It's massive, and I didn't see it correctly at first. It's 100% massive. The more people that know you, it's easier for you to now, like when you talk about law of averages, which you talk about all the time. So much game. I have to give you kudos. I've learned from you, from your finance background, on down the line. But I would say advertising is a big thing where there are people who are wanting to generate income, but they don't want to throw it back into the business. So the way that I tell people, what did someone call it when they have an idea, a brainchild? A business they call their baby. But you would never expect your baby to feed you before you feed it. So how do you expect a business to feed you and you've never fed it back?
Wow.
That's what advertisement is. It is you feeding the business for more clients to hear about you. You're feeding the client, feeding the business, and then it feeds you.
Right.
So you should definitely be looking at, I would say, man, high level, if you can get in front of more people and get more people to hear, get through your nose. Get enough people to tell you no. You're going to learn so much about fixing your business as you advertise. So I would say it's a big deal, whether it's influencer marketing, which we all know about, whether it's advertisement, whether it's Facebook, whether that's IG ads, whether it's YouTube ads, Google ads. I think it's super beneficial because it allows you now to hand select who you want to work with. You leave your job because you don't want to work with any and everybody.
Right.
As a business owner, you want to hand select your clients, position yourself where people truly see you as a solution and value you. So I would say advertising plays a major role in how you position in the industry because people buy what they feel like other people are buying. Right. If you can position yourself and truly show the benefits of what you provide for a person is massive.
Yeah. No, I love that. And so, email marketing, right, is something that I know you offer within your group. And even to the point where you have programs that you actually write the emails for your clients, right? When you think about the space, the social media space, what has more value? Does your email list have more value, or does your social media have more value? What would you say?
I'm so excited you asked me that question. I'm sitting here like, ooh. So I do a weekly mentorship, and one of my clients just asked me that. It was like, should I be focused on my email list or social media? Here's the rhetorical question I asked. What do you need to sign up for social media? An email address. Right. You can't even sign up for social media without email. What happens when you go to Macy's, whether you go to Saks? What's the question they ask you when you buy an item? Hey, sir, what's your email? Right. You don't make any transaction without email. Email's been around for as long as the internet. So I tell people, you don't control the algorithm. What you ultimately want, and I'm an example guy. What you ultimately want is something that you own. So if I can get a person to leave from the app I met them on, social media is the dating pool. They can look, like, comment, and keep scrolling and looking at other people. So you're wedged between their favorite celebrity, their homegirl that got married, their ex who popped up on their timeline, they crush, fight scenes, quotes that every woman saved quotes on, in case I need this to tell them off, or every man. So you think you're wedged between all that. Nobody picks up their cell phone, go on social media and say, I can't wait to find something to buy. You're in the way.
Right, right.
Email marketing is marriage. They can only view one email at a time. So the ultimate goal of social media is to get people to leave the app.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate goal. You got 3 seconds to do that. It's a 3-second rule. In between scrolling, I'm scrolling. I got 1 to 3 seconds to still attention. And here's what I teach if I can do this. The mob really is the whole old method of sales funnels in a new inventive way for people to understand it. So when you talk about the natural progression of a relationship, I just took funnels and added a step. Right? So natural progression of a relationship is awareness, right? So you're a married man. First you went from not knowing who your wife was to knowing who she was. Then you went from knowing who she was to actually being attracted to her and her attracted to you. That's social media. It's this dating pool of, can I make a person aware? Can I be attractive in my content, my language, my videos, like whatever I'm saying? Once I'm attractive, if you kept seeing your wife and saying what's up but never asked for a phone number, the relationship stops.
Yeah, yeah.
People's relationship with their customers stop because they're just on social media, hoping that a person finds them again.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the top. That's the top of the funnel. That's client attraction.
Yeah.
Right? So you go from that to client capture. That's why you tell people click the link in your bio.
Right.
To get them to leave, for you to now capture their phone number, their email. Now you can text, good morning, beautiful.
Yeah.
That's automation.
Yeah.
That's text message automation.
Yeah.
That's email automation.
Yeah.
If you don't open my email, if you click a link, now based on what a person does or doesn't do, you can now date them and offer them other things.
Yeah.
So it goes, and I'll go slow. Client attraction, step 1. Client capture, step 2. Client dating, which is where you automate consistent communication, telling them about you, learning about them. To the next step of any progressive relationship after dating is proposal.
Right.
Now propose something for them to buy.
Sheesh. Yep.
From that to client marriage, where they work with you at every level of your PSP.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what I teach, and that's what wins. So I think that if people could move into that space to understand, any business relationship is that.
Yeah.
How do you go from people not knowing you to being attracted, to you capturing their information, to you dating them, proposing and marrying them, and that's all done in an automated way.
Wow.
Where now you can date the whole internet.
Wow. And does that only work in certain industries?
Any industry.
Yeah.
Any industry, and we don't realize we do it all the time without noticing.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm a business guy. Like the way my mind works is I'm always trying to help clients drive revenue. So if you think of any industry without knowing, they're employing one of these strategies, either in an automated way or online or through some vehicle. Right. So there's 4 ways to drive revenue. You either are going to increase the frequency that a person buys from you. So how do you do that? That's where a person will say, like Smoothie King, every Friday is $5 smoothie. Come back in 7 days and we'll give you 30% off. They're trying to increase the frequency that you shop from them.
Right. Yeah.
So you're in a funnel whether you know it or not.
Right.
The other way is a person increase the cost per transaction. You buy a cell phone, unless you really thugged out, you buy a case.
Right. Yeah.
So that is nothing more than increasing the cost per transaction.
Yeah.
So you bought the cell phone, you bought the case. You're in a different type of funnel. That's a service-based industry. Or you remember when wings used to be 35 cents? You remember when chicken nuggets used to be 20 for $4.99 and you can get unlimited sauce. Let me get a barbecue, sweet and sour. Then they start charging you for sauce because they make more money off the sauce than the actual nuggets.
Right. Yeah.
So that is increasing the cost per transaction. The average person is going to buy 2 to 3 sauce for every nugget. So imagine, instead of $5, I'm now making 6 or 7. I picked up another $1 for something that cost me 8 cents.
Right.
That's a funnel.
Right.
That's the same as an order bump. That's the same as an upsell, downsell.
Yeah.
So you see how all these things are, I just started looking at every business and noticing it.
Yeah.
And then the other way is to increase the price.
Yeah.
McDonald's sells $1 burger, they sell $1 coffee. Every dollar is not $1.
Right.
The $1 burger, I got to pay a person to make it. I got pickles, onions, I got cost of goods, and somebody's going to screw up an order.
Right.
So I'm going to throw it away. You don't return a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
The margins are bigger.
Yeah.
Now for the same $1, you're in a funnel.
Right.
So why have a $1 menu? To increase how much traffic comes to the business to ultimately make more.
Right.
You see how I'm taking regular industries and we don't realize we're in it.
Yeah.
You ever have somebody send you a $10 coupon? They know you're gonna spend more than $10.
Right.
That's a funnel.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm teaching people, how to take these basic business principles.
Yeah.
And any person can use them. Any person can grow them. Any person can successfully grow their company.
Man, I love that. Man. And so when you look at, I mean, you said earlier, like high ticket has changed your life. There's somebody right now who wants to sell high ticket, right? They have, a product, a service, a solution, but they want to start at the $97. They want to, it's their first time as an entrepreneur. They want to, build themselves up. What's your thoughts about that?
I won't do it to you, but I always ask people who ask me that. Well, I'm just getting started. And I'm like, I understand that. Because you remember when Bentley first started, how they were real cheap and they were competing with Honda. And people say, yeah, it's not true.
That's not true. Right. It's never happened.
They made a decision that this is where we're coming in the market at.
Yeah.
If you think of Marriott owns W, Ritz-Carlton, but also Spring Hill Suites.
Right.
Their goal is to provide a place for people to sleep, but at different levels.
Different levels, yeah.
So if you want to do that, that's why I teach PSP.
Yeah.
But the reason why I think a person should charge more, and to a person who say, oh, I need to be around longer, I'm not saying cheap people. I don't want people to hear this wrong.
Yeah.
It's some people that are passionate enough to do it for free, and there's some people that's only good enough to do it for free. Right? Don't cheat people.
Yeah.
Know where you are. Be honest with where you are in the process. Okay, I get that. But when people say they're just starting, if I learn how to make the best chocolate chip cookies and I can follow the recipe, it don't matter how many chocolate chip cookies I sold. Can I teach you how to make them? So I charge based on, can I get you the result, not on how much I made in my business. The only way I'm wrong is if I'm marketing how much money I made in my business, which is what I call captivity. That's cap activity. Right,
captivity.
You out here lying.
Yeah.
People hire you not because you're an expert.
Yeah.
It's because, let's say, if they're on step 0, haven't started.
Yeah.
You're on step 3.
Yeah.
They are paying you because you are on the same direction they're going, but steps ahead of them.
Yeah.
All you got to teach them is how to go from 0 to 3.
Yeah.
You don't have to. Now, if you teach them how to get to 5, you're lying. So what I teach people, as long as you can document your process and successfully teach people how to go from where they are in the journey to where you are, and then guess what you do if you're at step 3, they're 0. You invest at level 5, and now you move forward, and guess what you just did?
Right.
You increased your price again, because now you can teach people how to go from 0 to 4.
Absolutely, yeah.
Then you do it again. That's why I would pay an Ash Cash to sit with him.
Right.
Because you brilliantly learned the finance side. You brilliantly learned how to write books. You brilliantly learned the podcasting space and the value of it.
Yeah.
So if I learn what you've learned, and I've condensed decades into days, I now can teach everybody behind me, and now my rate goes up. My prices are some would say a little higher. Why? We create the thing that a person sells. We have full-time course creators that interviews people, extract the information, and create the course. We write the emails and create the marketing and automation system. We even give you a sales script and a webinar script. So we create the product you sell, the system to sell it, and the sales strategy to sell it. We're gonna cost more.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
So it just, when you look at it, you gotta ask, what is it worth to the person?
Yeah.
Reason I tell people don't charge less than $1,000, if your transformation is not worth the price of a cell phone, you shouldn't be selling it. Someone's gonna call you from a $1,000 cell phone on a $1,000 iPad, a $1,000 iPad, getting in a multi-$1,000 car, and tell you that what you're charging is too much to change their life.
Right.
Hang up.
Absolutely.
Hang up right in their face.
Yeah. No, I love that, because I think that when people think about cost, and I forget who said this quote, but price only matters in the absence of value. Right. And so when people are thinking about cost, if what I'm charging you, right, is really an investment to you, because you're going to get the results from that. And then from that result, then you'll be able to really monetize. And if you execute and get, do that, you'll be at a right level. And so, to that person that's right now having that, they have a 9 to 5, they're ready to start an online business. And they just need to know where to start, man. What would you tell that person?
I would tell them immediately, the first step is solve your own problem. Before you market or try to solve someone else's, solve your own problem, document the process of how you did it, and then start giving it away for free. When you feel like you're giving too much away for free, that means you don't know enough, right? So what you want to do, there's no such thing as free if there's a strategy attached to it. When you walk in the mall and they offer you that free teriyaki chicken, it's not because they're concerned about you eating in the process. It's because they understand a marketing strategy that works, that you give away something that you can get them to taste test it and it works. So I would say start with solving your own problem. Document that process. Interview yourself. That becomes content creation. If I just interview and say, what's the first step I would take if I was starting an online business? That's how I came up with PSP. Okay, what would I do in terms of marketing? And I start just giving that information to the internet. What's going to happen is, every time you find me, I'm solving your problem, I'm teaching you something. It's going to now build brand credibility. It's going to build trust. So now it's an easy solution. What are you really charging for? Not the information. You're charging for the information put in a process that a person can follow. They can Google information, but Google only answers questions they know to ask. So the big thing I would say is start right there. Start with every day showing up for people and solving their problem, answering questions. Think about the power, bro. I can't celebrate you enough.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Thank you.
You show up high level, high energy, and you're spending your time to give people away something they can consume for free.
Yeah.
But there's no such thing as free.
Right.
Free comes at an expense to the giver.
Right.
So when you hear free food, someone bought it, someone made it.
Right. Yeah.
When you hear free podcasts, it costs you to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Costs the person and it costs you.
Yeah.
But it's free to the consumer. So I would tell people start there, but free is not a problem if you can now start thinking about what's the vehicle you're sending that free.
Yeah. You
should be collecting data in exchange for that. So now you can email market. Now you can set up a community. Now you can get people to trust you. So when you do offer something, it becomes much easier because you've already solved their problem.
Yeah.
That's what I would tell people.
Yeah.
And leverage relationships.
Yeah.
If you don't have an audience, everybody in their cell phone has a few people that when they call you, like, I wonder what they want. But someone needs that contact.
Yeah.
So what if you reached out to 4 or 5 people and said, hey, I want to teach people how to take the information in their head and turn it into a course. Do you know anyone who's looking to get started online? Almost everybody I reach out to is going to know somebody.
Absolutely, yeah.
In exchange, I'll give you 20% of anyone who does it. Now you're incentivized.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just like that, I got a business.
Yeah.
So you don't even start on social media. Start with your text messages.
Yeah.
Start with your friends.
Yeah. Yo, listen, this was a whole class. This was a whole lesson. And if y'all didn't learn from everything that was just given, I don't know what you were just watching. Bro, I appreciate you because, and honestly, this interview is a true testament to what we said when we first started, right? Your ability to sow seed is always you're gonna get that back because you selflessly just now gave the whole game away, right? And so I appreciate that. I know that we have a special offer towards the end, so stay tuned. But I do want to ask, as somebody who has been able to now in your own life, have 6-figure months and, have created this abundance financially. What has been the most extravagant thing that you have done with money?
Oh my God. When I didn't have it, it was extravagant. I made a commitment to give away $1,000 a month. And at the time, I ain't have it like that.
Yeah.
That was extravagant. And I realized that the principle hit by like month 3. I now do that. I don't set income goals. I set goals of how much I want to give away. And I realize my income grows by that.
Wow. Yeah.
So I would say that's extravagant, or some would say, I hate talking about material things so people hear it wrong. Like I'm a Tesla enthusiast, so like buying, I own 2 of them, right? Some would say that's extravagant, and I hope the listeners don't hear that wrong. Like what it was about is not the gift, it was the ability to say yes to myself. Like, man, it felt good to do that, as well as I'll say what you see on me, the Epic Nation.
Yeah.
I started an online church that does professional development, spiritual development, and social networking all in one space.
Wow.
And literally I give away everything. Like, man, we give away money, we pay rent, we're trying to give away a car this year.
Wow.
So like that's the most extravagant thing, to know how much I'm giving into that on a consistent basis.
Wow. And I mean, it sort of answers my next question, which is what has been the most impactful thing you've done with money? But if that's different, let us know.
Yeah, I would say the most impactful thing is definitely that.
Yeah.
The ability to, when you pay somebody's mortgage for a month or 2 months, or pay their bills on down the line, you just sped up time.
Yeah, for sure.
You solved their emotional problem.
Yeah.
So I would say the most impactful thing is being able to cut a check to someone and cover for 2 months, that they don't have to worry about how they're gonna cover it.
Yeah, and that's huge, because just from a demonstration perspective, from a mindset perspective, like that literally shifts their whole life. So that's awesome. All right, we're gonna do lightning round. Lightning round is, we take some terms, we flip the terms, and so we take banking terms, right? So we're inside the vault. First term we're gonna use is deposit slip. Deposit slip is when you go into the bank, you fill out the deposit slip, you put money into the bank. But for us, a deposit slip is a mess up, a slip, a money slip, right? Something that mistake that you made with money. So what would you say so far has been your biggest deposit slip?
Ooh, the biggest mistake I made with money was when I first started, like early 19, 20, etc. It was paying to impress people. Man, I had a 98 Lincoln Navigator, and when How I'm Living and MTV Cribs, and went and bought a Cadillac Escalade.
Oh man!
Why would I have two SUVs?
Right, absolutely.
Huge money slip.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm spending multiple $100s on car payments, so that was a huge slip, man. I overextended, spending more than I should, maxing out credit cards, so that was my biggest money slip. Just buying a ton of clothes and stuff that add no value that could increase my income.
Wow, love it. All right, number 2, charge off, right? So charge off, you borrow money from the bank, you don't pay it back, bank charges it off. Here inside the vault, the charge off is about mindset, right? So what type of mindset or people did you have to charge off while on your journey?
Man, all right. Shout out to the homies that ain't here. Man, it's been a consistent journey of that. So charge-offs for me is, I'm a loyal person. So I've had the tough thing of having to forgive people that never said I'm sorry, and walk away from people and love them from a distance. It pains your heart of people who are no longer there. So those charge-offs are those relationships that hurts me that they're not around to see the person that I am now. I always tell people, like, people who are truly with you don't see you as a photograph frozen in a moment in time in your life. They see you as a sonogram, and they can see the growth of your life. So I've had to charge off people that only saw me in that moment of remember when, versus seeing the growth and potential. All I ever did was what I said I was going to do.
Yeah. Oh, you barred up, bro. All right, last one, trust account, right? So a trust account is where you take your assets, you put it in this trust account, you allow it to grow and build more wealth for you. For us inside the vault, trust account, what type of mindset are you holding on to? What type of mindset are you cultivating? What type of mindset is in your trust account that's going to help you get to the next level?
Man, I live by a very simple mission every day, and it's on my mirror. So I see it in the morning and I see it at night. So it's 4 things I do every day, and it's what I'm going to teach my kids, my family. Number 1, what pleases God. I think that deals with purpose and destiny. Before I needed a paycheck, I had a purpose. So what is that? Why am I here? So what pleases God? What am I good at? How do I develop that is the second thing. So every day I'm always thinking about what am I good at? Third thing is what serves people. So I ask that question. I do something that pleases God, something that I'm good at, something that serves people, and the 4th one is what pays me well.
That's a big bar. All right, y'all, listen. My guy Marcus Rosier, right? The MOBB, Monetize Online Business Blueprint. Talk to him about your program, because I know you got a special offer for all my insiders. If you watch this show, Inside the Vault, you are officially an insider. Talk to my people about the offer that you got for us.
Absolutely. So Ash Cash, who loves his audience, he convinced me and said, man, give it all away. So we have what we call a full training portal. It's everything that you need for an online business. So it deals with your messaging, shows you how to do that. Marketing, headline, and hook, how to create your audience, how to form your online business. It comes with 25 emails already written for you. Also comes with a course creation course, sales training, and 2 sales funnels already in there, literally just step by step. So it's video training and done for you resources, including even a webinar script. So it's everything in that portal that you need for an online business. As well as we have support where you get free access for 4 weeks into our mentorship. If you got a question or get stuck, ask us and we'll make sure we answer it for you.
All right, y'all. So in order to take advantage of that, listen, go to thevaultmob.com. That's TheVaultMobb.com. That just sounds like a flow, but thevaultmob.com. Make sure y'all tap in, tune in. If they wanted to connect with you, where can they find you?
Man, I'm easy. Whether you're the FBI or a jealous girlfriend. Marcus Y Rosier. So Marcus, the letter Y. Wherever you are, if you type in Marcus Y, I pop up. So Marcus Y Rosier. You can find me on social media platforms, my podcast, all of that. Marcus Y Rosier.
All right, y'all. This is another awesome episode. We are closing out the vault. Man, the power that we are bringing you, I promise you, you're not going to find nowhere else, because first and foremost, we talk about that mindset, the greatest money mindset show on the planet. Make sure you follow us at Inside the Vault on all platforms. Follow me at I am Ash Cash, and I'm going to see you next time with another powerful guest on the most powerful, greatest money mindset show on the planet, Inside the Vault. I'll see you next time, same place, in God's will. Peace.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You won't ask cash, you can catch it right here in the vault.